I'm Eric Singer, Gazette.com, and this is Between the Lines, a busy day in Colorado Springs. Decision day, election day here. And joining me now, a full complement of the reporters who've been out in the field to get you the latest results. First, Stephen Hobbs with the Gazette. Thank you very much for being here. We, of course, have Tom Roeder, senior military reporter Tom Roeder with the Gazette, but also an elections guru and a wizard here as well. And we have Wayne Heilman, business reporter, but tonight he's keeping you up to speed on what's going on with the election. All right, gentlemen, let's focus on the big elephant in the room, and of course, the mayoral race. Stephen, thoughts, comments? We know that the top two vote getters are John Suthers, and we also knew Mary Lou Makepeace. Unofficial results, they will be in the May 19th runoff.
Yeah, it's kind of what people expected, that we would have a runoff. But I think John Suthers mentioned it when he was out in his campaign, that he was happy with the voter turnout, that they got so much support. So I think it'll be interesting to see if the votes coalesce for him a lot when we do have the runoff election.
Tom?
Mary Lou Makepeace is really, she's drawn to an inside straight here. What she's hoping is that the voters who back Joel Miller will come into her camp, along with some luck, a higher turnout. We'll see how that works out for her. She has a huge hill to climb in this runoff. With John Suthers taking 47+% of the vote to her 23.1 at this point, that's a big hill.
John only needed less than 2,000 votes to avoid the runoff completely.
And one thing, when you were talking about in your many series of reports, specifically show me the money. And John Suthers still has a pretty big kitty that he can be able to draw from before the mayoral runoff.
He told me yesterday he'd have 80,000 left after paying bills for the runoff. Mary Lou Makepeace had about $6,000 left. She'd spent all the money she had taken in, which was about $88,000.
Now, big surprise as far as I'm concerned in the mayoral election was Joel Miller doing so well against veteran politico Amy Lathan.
Amy says this is exactly what her polling was showing her. This is what she expected. And she immediately said she's going to flip her, how many thousand votes do we have here? 8,400 votes to Suthers. That puts Suthers even further over the top in terms of the runoff election. They had some tiffs early on in this campaign, but very friendly. When a Suthers campaign commercial came on during Lathan's party, the crowd sort of smiled and nobody booed. I was pretty impressed.
Stephen?
Yeah, I think it will be very interesting once again. I think people were surprised that Joel Miller got more than 3,000 votes in Amy Lathan. I think the turnout was strong for him, but like Tom said, it's going to take a lot for Mary Lou Makepeace to collect those votes that went to Joel Miller and Amy Lathan in the election.
The other thing with Miller is his votes. These are a lot of your angry voter. These are a lot of the folks who would associate themselves with the Tea Party or the Libertarian movement. I don't know how well that will mesh with the, you can't call it Democratic, but, at least more liberal-leaning Makepeace campaign.
Now let's focus, and you're talking about an angry, anti-establishment type of reputation that Joel Miller had. Now let's go to the city council. And one thing I got to tell you, the top vote getters, Bill Murray, Tom Strand, Merv Bennett. Bill Murray really distanced himself and wanted his reputation to be, I'm angry about government, it's broken, and I want it to change.
Biggest surprise of the night, absolutely, Eric.
Most definitely.
Bill Murray easily bested Jeriah Walker, who had the youth vote in this campaign. And when you have such a huge field, what do we have, 13 candidates? Huge field, and Bill Murray comes out. A lot of Bill Murray jokes tonight about whether the actor and comedian were mixed up with a city council candidate. A few mentions of Groundhog Day and Ghostbusters 3 out there. But
Not
congratulations.
To mention Caddyshack.
Not to mention Caddyshack, of course.
So congratulations to Bill Murray for a win there. The other ones are pretty well expected. These are known quantities, known politicians around town who've been running pretty hard. No surprises there, but definitely Murray was a shocker.
Absolutely.
Well, and Jeriah Walker outraised him almost 10-1. That was the big surprise.
And the big surprise, too, was the young professionals that he was touting and trying to have embrace him didn't seem, or, it'll be interesting to see as we continue to analyze the results. Well, where were they? You're one of that young constituency.
Well, voter turnout. Right now it's about a third of the votes, and we're not totally complete, but it will probably be around that when the ballots have been counted. and that's just pretty low. And once again, just to go quickly back to the mayoral race, Mary Lou Makepeace said she wants to try to get the voter turnout up, but that may have hurt people in the city council race who obviously don't have a second chance. And maybe Jeriah Walker lost because he just couldn't get enough young people or other people to vote.
He had the best party of the night by far over there at Phantom Canyon. Young crowd. I was the only one there wearing a tie. Pitchers of beer and pool being played, and the Rockies on television as opposed to the vote return. So fun bunch.
And finally, let's talk about Helen Collins. She retains her seat. She wasn't recalled.
In a walk. In an absolute walk. This was a big issue this year for Collins. A lot of information has come out about her financial dealings with Douglas Bruce. That's going to leave a mark for a long time, but for now, she keeps that council seat pretty easily.
And she can't lose it in the ethics process. They can fine her, they can't remove an elected official.
That's true.
All right, we're going to do the lightning round. 15 seconds from each of you, and then we're going to wrap up. Go ahead. Thoughts on this, Stephen?
Well, I wanted to have one thing. We have the closest night of the races is ballot issue 2, which talks about city council and city administration. It's at this point, it's only separated by 5 votes late into the night. So this is a statistical tie. It's been our Bob Beaupre, John Hickenlooper of the municipal election.
Absolutely easy night to call in the mayor's race. I think people were very comfortable with John Southers. He's kind of the town's comfortable sweater. We'll see if that carries over to this runoff campaign.
Wayne?
Lastly, Larry Bagley pretty much wiping the floor with Kanda Califf, 70-30.
Wow.
Huge landslide. I think most people thought he would win, but by that margin.
All right, and you heard of the election night analysis, and of course we're going to continue this election analysis throughout the coming days and as we get closer and closer to the mayoral runoff. Thank you, Wayne Heilman, Tom Roeder, and also Stephen Hobbs. And thank you for watching. Of course, we'll keep you up to speed and in the know. Remember, May 19th runoff will keep you in the know with election results. With Between the Lines, I'm Eric Singer, Gazette.com.